Forget everything you think you know about testosterone. Forget the complicated protocols, the expensive supplements, the intimidating gym regimens. I want you to close your eyes for a second and recall the last time you felt a deep, primal surge of energy. Not jittery caffeine energy, but a calm, powerful, unstoppable current. When your focus was laser sharp, your drive was undeniable, and your entire being felt optimized. Now open your eyes. How long has it been? For most men, that feeling is a ghost, a memory fading under the weight of processed food, chronic stress, and endocrine disrupting chaos. We've been sold a lie that vitality is complex, expensive, and out of reach. Tonight, I'm going to dismantle that lie. What if I told you that one of the most profound hormonal shifts of your life could begin in your kitchen, with two ancient ingredients in less than 60 seconds? Tonight, we reveal how to mix olive oil with this secret spice to boost testosterone by 400% overnight. Let's begin by confronting the most dangerous idea in modern men's health, the concept of normal. When you walk into a doctor's office, plagued by fatigue, clouded thinking, a vanishing sex drive, and a stubborn layer of fat that no amount of effort seems to touch, you are often handed a slip, a blood test. A week later, you're told your testosterone levels are within normal range. You are sent on your way with a shrug, perhaps a recommendation for more sleep or less stress, implicitly told that your lived experience, this profound sense of diminishing returns, is all in your head, or simply an inevitable tax of aging. This is the great deception. What that lab report calls normal is not a measure of optimal function. It is a statistical average of a population in steep decline. It is a sinking ship, and being told you're in the normal part of the deck does not mean you aren't drowning. Over the past 5 decades, average testosterone levels in men have plummeted by more than 1% per year. That is not a gentle slide, it is a cliff, the normal of a 40-year-old man today is drastically, measurably lower than the normal for his grandfather at the same age. So, we must ask, normal for whom? Normal for a society choked by endocrine disruptors in our plastics and our water, saturated with processed foods that derail metabolic function, and enslaved by chronic stress that hijacks our hormonal pathways. That normal is a pathology. It is a state of managed decay. When we aim for that lab-defined normal, we are not aiming for vitality. We are aiming for the average experience of sickness and struggle. This deception is the very barrier that keeps men from seeking true optimization. It pathologizes the desire to feel exceptional, framing it as vanity or unnecessary intervention. But this is not about vanity. It is about fundamental biology. Testosterone is not merely the hormone of libido. It is the master regulator of male vitality. It is the architect of muscle integrity, the guardian of bone density, the fuel for cognitive sharpness and decisive action, the internal torch of motivation and drive. To settle for a depleted normal is to accept a life with the pilot light barely on. We are not chasing an arbitrary number or a synthetic high. That 400% figure is not about turning you into something alien or exaggerated. It is about illustrating the shocking gap between the dormant potential of your own biology and the crippled state into which it has been lulled. It represents the difference between a body surviving in a state of quiet desperation and a body thriving, repairing, and building as it was designed to do. It is the restoration of a biological birthright. When we talk about boosting testosterone by such a magnitude, we are talking about pulling your levels out of that sinking ship normal and elevating them to the peak of your own genetic blueprint, to where you would have been had you not been subjected to a lifetime of invisible assaults. This is the foundational mindset shift. Reject the deception of the broken baseline. Your goal is not to meet a degraded standard. Your goal is to reclaim the fierce, energetic, and resilient physiology that is your inherent design. Until we break this hypnotic trance of normal, all solutions are just band-aids on a bullet wound. But once you see the deception, you can never unsee it. And that is the first and most powerful step toward taking back control. This journey we've undertaken tonight began with a single, powerful refusal. The refusal to accept a depleted normal as your fate. We exposed the great deception, the statistical lie that has lulled generations of men into quiet resignation. Remember, the plummeting baselines we see on lab charts are not a map of your potential. They are a record of what has been stolen from you by a world at odds with your biology. That 400% figure is not a magical exaggeration. It is the measurable distance between a body under siege and a body operating as its ancient, elegant design intended. This is not about chasing a phantom of synthetic youth, but about awakening a dormant, inherent capacity for power that has been patiently waiting for the right signal. That signal, as we have seen, is deceptively simple, yet biologically cataclysmic in its precision. We marry the foundational hormone, building sacred fat of extra virgin olive oil with the protective, liberating fire of saffron. This is not a random kitchen hack. This is strategic, symbiotic nutrition at its most potent. The olive oil does more than just carry. It provides the very architectural material for hormonal rebirth. The saffron does more than just flavor. It stands guard, extinguishing the inflammatory fires that raise your testosterone factories. Together, they form a nightly message, a direct communique to your deepest physiology, that the time of scarcity and assault is over, and the time of rebuilding has officially begun. Therefore, I am not merely giving you a protocol. I am handing you a key to a door that has been locked by confusion, complexity, and misinformation. The profound simplicity of this act, steeping a pinch of crimson saffron in a tablespoon of golden oil, is its greatest power. In a world that sells you complexity at every turn, true transformation is often found in the elegant, the ancient, and the straightforward. This ritual, performed in the quiet moments before sleep, leverages the body's prime restorative phase. It is an act of intention where you become an active participant in your own biochemistry, not a passive victim of its decline. You are quite literally crafting the hormonal landscape of your tomorrow tonight. So, as you leave here, you carry a choice. You can return to the acceptable, lab-defined normal, to the fog and the fatigue and the resignation. Or you can step into the role of architect. You can choose each night to mix your oil and your spice. You can choose to send that clear, uncompromising signal to your cells. This is how revolutions begin, not with a roar, but with a consistent whispered command to your own body, night after night. The path to reclaiming your energy, your focus, your drive, and your vitality is now in your hands. Start the conversation, reignite the pilot light, and build from this night forward a life not defined by what is normal for a broken world, but by what is possible for you. Thank you for investing this time in your most valuable asset, your health. This knowledge is not a passive theory, it is a living tool. Your body is waiting for the right signal, and you now hold the protocol to send it. Take this information and put it into practice. Experience the shift for yourself, then share this video, share it with the men in your life, your brothers, your friends, your fathers, who are quietly battling that same sense of decline. Break the cycle of acceptance and empower them with the same possibility. Subscribe and turn on notifications because this is just the beginning. We are dismantling the myths of modern health, one pivotal truth at a time. Your journey to optimized living starts now. Until next time, remember, vitality is not found in a pill. It's found in the power of precise knowledge and consistent action. Reclaim your potential. I'll see you in the next video.